Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
We love quick turnarounds on Listen Up. Thank you, KK. It's Phil and Rye. And Rye, in this episode, we're going to break down the last check-in. The Yukon Huskies face the South Dakota State Jackrabbits, Ryan, and they are led by head coach, who is it, Ryan? Aaron Johnston, and then, of course, led by Brooklyn Meyer. And again, predictions like last. I think we already know what's going to happen, obviously, but like you say, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. And I was looking up this team a little bit last night, and they're definitely not a pushover, but like you said, quick turnaround in the second round matchup as UConn takes on the 10 seeded Jackrabbits from the Summit League. Now, I remember saying when we broke down UConn's region that you can expect an upset, and I thought the Jackrabbits could pull it off over Oklahoma State, and that's indeed what they did yesterday. South Dakota State finished 16-0 in their conference, only losing 3 games the whole season. But despite being from a small conference, they have beaten Creighton and Oregon this season, and they only lost to Duke by 4 earlier in November. And the Jackrabbits actually finished the season at number 25 in the AP poll. So, like I said, this team, you can't really overlook them. They have 3 players that average double-digit points per game. Haley Timmer, Paige Meyer, and Brooklyn Meyer. The Meyers not related, but this team is pretty close. They've won 3 Summit League titles in a row. This team, they usually rely on the three ball, but I was surprised in their first round matchup. The Jackrabbits, they only took 9 shots from outside and only made 2 of them. So they're proving that they can beat you in multiple ways. They pulled off a second round comeback against Oklahoma State that was mostly due to their inside play, tight defense, and getting rebounds. They did struggle with turnovers. So I think if UConn can force turnovers and win the rebounding battle, they should have a pretty good chance to win this game. I'm expecting to see UConn really get out in transition and outrun South Dakota State like we saw against Arkansas State. But if they can't, UConn can't back down from the 3 point line because, like I said, the Jackrabbits, they can really catch fire from beyond the arc. So UConn definitely has to be careful of that.
Again, second round action, Ryan, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Let's go to Janet Adams. She said, wow, wow, wow is the perfect game breakdown. Team D was insanely clinical. Not let's not get top far ahead. It was against a subpar team, but even the offense was fundamentally solid. The three-scorer Husky model was so devastating. Paige was content to play quarterback. Go Huskies. And yeah, Ryan, the national team, the three ladies, that was on that appeared. We talked about them on ABC. Good Morning America. They broke down the roster, UConn Huskies team, and they said, Ryan, it's like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it finally is because we're finally healthy for once going into the tournament. So it's definitely nice to see. And like I said, I'm glad Oliver Griffin was able to come into the game. It's definitely a good sign. We'll have to see if she makes another appearance later in this game, and possibly Caroline Ducharme as well. I expect to see her a little bit more, which is great to see. But yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like a well-oiled machine right now. And like I said during the game recap, if UConn stays locked in like this, they're definitely going to be a tough out.
How about Lindsay Matthews, Ryan? She said, oh my gosh, I'm in Europe on vacation right now, but I just checked the score and could hardly believe my eyes. Yes, no sense in being nice right now. So go for it, team. There is no I in the word team. Remember that.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, like I said, I'm not sure anybody was expecting that score, or at least in the first quarter, just that kind of blowout that early in the game. Yeah, it's hard to believe you score 66 points in one half and then score over 100 points. I believe I saw yesterday there was 5 or 6 teams in the first round that scored over 100 points, which tied the tournament record, something like that. So these teams are coming to play, at least the top seeded teams. So it's going to get really fun as we get even later down in this tournament.
This comment fits well for this morning, Rye, on a beautiful Sunday morning. Just Me said, next up, round two, South Dakota State. Their big is 6'2" and won't have a chance against Jana if Jana can keep her feet moving. When Jana is out, Sarah will dominate her. Their point guard is a good ball handler, but the speed of UConn will keep her in check. If UConn continues their stifling defense, hot shooting, and fast breaks, this should be a slam dunk. UConn's confidence is peaking at the right time.
I completely agree with that. Yeah, I think UConn's really going to dominate the rebounding battle, the turnover battle, and all of that again. And I would expect to see a lot more blocks as well. They definitely had a block party yesterday during that whole game against the Red Wolves. So I would expect to see that down low in the paint as well. And the rebound and turnover battle is going to be huge for UConn.
Philip Simpson said, Ashland Shade, Phil, Ryan, say her name. This goes back to a couple years ago. I'm not being smart in no way. I'm just saying we need to have a certain special uh, point in our episodes where we just say every young lady's name after every game that we do, because again, going back to a couple years ago, Ryan, if you remember, we forgot to say her name, forgot to say that name, give her praise, give that one praise. We just need to have that special moment where we say everybody's name on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, when everybody plays good, it's hard to mention everybody. I mean, like I said, everybody shot the ball very efficiently yesterday. Everybody that came into the game, so that's really good to see as well. That I mean, Ashland's going to be obviously a big player coming off the bench. Both her and KK had really good games yesterday.
Tomorrow, Ryan, second round action tomorrow night. I'll see you late tomorrow night. Who do you have and the score?
Like I said, I think UConn's defensive pressure is going to be too much for the Jackrabbits to handle, and not to mention the Huskies are going to have home court advantage for the last time this season at Gamble Pavilion. So I'm going to say UConn 90, South Dakota State 48.
Ooh, I like it. I'll go UConn all over South Dakota State. Jackrabbits, Ryan. UConn wins it and goes to the Sweet 16 final score 95-40. 95-40. Another blowout win. And Ryan, yes, for the final time at Gamble, and then they can lock the doors, lock the gates until next season. Phil and Rye on Listen Up.